You're listening to 404 Realities Not Found, where truth ends and something else begins.
I remember the feeling vividly. The first time I stepped into that room, it wasn't inside some haunted mansion buried in the woods. It was inside the modern apartment I had just moved into, in the heart of a nameless city, surrounded by glass and neon. The landlord gave me a strange warning. Never open the door at the end of the hallway, he said, with a forced smile, eyes drifting to somewhere that wasn't here. Just pretend it doesn't exist. But curiosity, it grew inside me like a worm, quiet, persistent. Why would there be a sealed room in such a pristine, high-end place? One late night, when the silence in the apartment became unbearable, I decided to break the promise. The emergency spare key, I knew where it was. It sat in my palm, like a secret waiting to be confessed. Click. The lock snapped open with a dry, final sound. The heavy door creaked as it opened, revealing a single, suffocating color. Red, but not the red of roses, not the elegance of wine. It was a deep, dry blood red that swallowed everything whole. The walls, the ceiling, the floor, even the lone light bulb dangling in the center was coated in that obscene, metallic crimson. The air was thick, sweet in a nauseating way, and underneath, a scent like rotting iron. I stepped in, bare feet meeting the floor, cold, sticky. The door slammed shut behind me. The sound cracked like thunder through the silence. My heart stuttered. I reached back, twisted the doorknob. Locked, tight, sealed. I was trapped. The dim, red light cast long shadows on the walls. They danced, distorted, twitching like insects. That's when I saw it. The walls weren't painted. They were drawn, covered in scribbles, rough lines, distorted shapes, all in the same dark red. I leaned in, and I froze. They weren't just shapes. They were faces. Dozens of them, screaming in silence, mouths open wide, eyes forever frozen in terror, fingers reaching out, clawing for help. Then I heard it. At first, it was like wind through a crack in the door, but it grew louder, closer, like someone was breathing, right behind me. I spun around, nothing. The whispering didn't stop. It didn't even come from the room anymore. It came from inside my head. Painful, wordless, groaning sounds, like suffering bottled for centuries. I covered my ears, but that didn't matter. You can't escape from sounds that live inside you. I backed away. My eyes locked on one of the faces. It moved. What was once just a streak of paint now had eyes, and they were staring straight into mine. Its mouth curled upward into a smile, a grin, a nightmare's grin. I screamed, stumbled, fell backwards. My back slammed into another wall, and I felt it. It wasn't hard. It was soft, warm, like I had just landed against the flesh of a living creature. My hand trembled as it touched the surface. Beneath the red coating, I felt it, a slow, rhythmic movement, pulsing like the beating of a heart, a giant heart. The room was alive. The room was breathing. The whisper turned into laughter. A high-pitched, broken giggle, insane and wet, bouncing off the walls like it belonged there. The faces on the wall began to shift. Their eyes opened, all of them. They stared, they watched, they waited. The floor beneath me grew stickier, like it was trying to pull me down. I don't know how long I stayed in that place. Time doesn't exist in the red, only fear and breath and screams. I realize something. I am part of the room now. My blood, my fear, my scream, they'll blend into the red, become just another brushstroke on the living walls, and I'll whisper forever with the others who came before me, waiting for the next person to open the door. You've just heard 404 Realities Not Found, and now you know. The room exists, but if it ever calls to you, don't open the door, or your story will be next.